Today we're going to use SdrGlut and SoapyRemote to show an example of using a remote SDR to transmit the SDR signals over the internet. And so I have a MacBook Pro sitting in the other room with a Lime Mini hooked to it, and we're gonna transfer from there to this room over the internet. And so the first thing you need to do is you need to check the speed of your internet connection. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I've got the program, and I'm going to send some data across the internet and see what the speed is. And all right, so it says 6 megabytes a second, 6.4 megabytes a second. Let's try it once more and see what it comes up. Yeah, 5.9, 5.8 megabytes a second. Okay, so let's use the 5.8 megabytes a second. And since we're transmitting the raw data across the internet, it's going to be 8 bytes per unit. And so I divide the 5 megabytes by 8, and I get 750,000 bytes. And I divide that by 2 because the machine has to, the MacBook Pro has to spool it from the SDR and from the SDR across the internet. And so that gives us 350,000 data samples a second that it can handle. Okay, so 362,000. So over here I'm logged into the remote device, and I'm going to start up Soapy Server, and that's the program that makes the device available. So now it's sitting there waiting for me to come in and connect to the Lime Mini. And so I'll start up SdrGlut, and okay, SdrGlut is running. I check the radio. Okay, so now it says I've got a whole bunch of choices of remote. It turns out some of those are audio, and 2 of them are actually the server. And so I'll take the last one here, which is actually one of the devices. Unfortunately, I set the speed to, I didn't cut the speed down to 300,000, so I got to cut the sample rate down to 300,000 or less. And now we're running at a data sample rate of 300,000 samples per second. And we can look down here and we can see that it seems to be running just fine. And so now we'll go over here and let's see, one of our local stations here is at 103.7. And so what we have here is I've got the SDR in the other room, and I'm pulling the signal across the internet. And with the particular network speed I have, which is 5, almost 6 megabytes a second, I can handle 300 megasamples a second. And so that's an example of using SdrGlut to